Cool. Cool. So today we have John here. He's using an alias. He doesn't want to expose his name for obvious reasons. But John, go ahead and explain, the offer letter you recently got, if it's hybrid, on-site, remote, and how much did you actually get from this one offer?
Yeah, so this recent offer that I got, at first it was actually $75. And whenever we were on the screening phone call, I kind of asked for the higher range. And then after they sent the offer, I made sure to counter offer it and call them up on the phone. And then I said, hey, I'm gonna pretty much need some more money. I have this other offer coming in. I kind of told them what it was. And then I said, I need you to do something that could be a little bit more competitive with it. And then they ended up bringing it to $80. So that's what I ended up signing for. And this
Okay.
one is remote.
Okay, so $80 an hour per year. That is $166,400 a year, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And since you joined the program, this is your third offer letter, correct?
Um, yeah, it's the third one.
And so the first one, how much was the first one?
First one was for 110,000.
And how much was the second one?
Second one was 190,000.
And how much was the third one?
So it's $80 on a contract. So that $80 hourly is about 166,000 if you were to convert it to salary.
So let's go ahead and add some math. On Instagram Live, I have you guys, I put $466,000. John was able to, um, I'll cut that off. I got you, Stormy. But John was able to, um, you know, get multiple offers. Okay. He left one role and he picked up another one, right? More leverage. And so right now, John is making around 320 something, correct? Per year?
Let me think. 190 plus 160. I think that's like 340.
Yeah, around 340. And so, um, and what is your goal? How much money do you want to make per year?
Oh, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. That's 356,000 actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit higher. But yeah, my current goal right now, I want to bring in 500,000 gross at the moment, preferably net, but at least gross.
Okay.
And I'm following the strategy. If you want to ask a few more questions, I'll throw out some more details.
Okay. And do you believe that you can actually hit that amount?
Yeah, I know I can because it's just repeating, the same system I've been following.
Okay. And so kind of tell people about your journey. Tell them about like, a little bit about yourself, who you were before you got into this. Um, and what were you doing before this?
Yeah, so beforehand, I was doing a lot of job hopping because I didn't really know what job I wanted to do. So I was kind of trying everything out, everything from insurance sales at a few different like pyramid scheme type of companies. And then I was doing like valet, driving like Porsches and Bentleys and like crazy stuff for a little bit. It was cool, but valet don't pay the most. And I even like worked on repairing forklifts, like literally the most random jobs.
Hmm.
And one day I kind of randomly met Tayo through a mutual friend, and he was telling me about IT, and he was recommending I give it a try. And at first, I actually didn't want to do it. I was saying I'm not a nerd. I'll never do that kind of IT stuff. But then after job hopping for a little bit, I was like, well, you know what? Let me give it a try. I hear it makes a lot of money, so I'm just gonna give him a call and kind of see where this goes.
Okay. And what do you feel like, how long were you in, some of those odd jobs? Were you comfortable? Like, were you starting to feel like something wasn't right?
Um, Usually I would stay no longer than like 3 or 4 months at a time. And even going into them, I knew they weren't right, but it was kind of like, oh, I gotta make money somehow. So I'm just gonna do this for a little bit till something else pops up.
Okay. And what do you feel like, do you mind sharing what you were making before? And like, what was your salary when you first started this journey?
Um, Salary was probably anywhere around like 30 to 40-ish because The hourly was usually around anywhere from like 15 to 23 an hour, usually at all these random jobs. I'd say 40 and below usually.
Okay. 40,000 a year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're making $356,000 remote, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
That doesn't seem realistic. Like, how is that even possible? I don't believe you.
It's because there's certain jobs that if you tap into, you really can pull it off. Like
Okay.
for example, some of these cloud roles, the fact that there's not enough people that can fill the skill, that's why they're able to give you that, lifestyle of remote, and then some of them even a high paying job with remote. So it's because there's a lack of skilled people that can do this.
Okay. And where did you feel stuck? Like, what was the ceiling that you kept on hitting? And how long had you been there
Are you talking about like during the program or like before?
before the program?
Um,
Like, what
shoot,
was the
my
ceiling?
ceiling, yeah, my ceiling was around that 40,000.
Mm.
And the reason I was stuck there is because I knew I truly wasn't going to do it long term, but I just didn't really have a plan, so that's why I was stuck there.
And so you have to kind of like help me out because you didn't have a degree. Do you have do you have a degree now, right? A college degree?
No, just a high school diploma and no certifications or anything. So,
Okay, so so pause because something is not making sense for me. You have, and obviously, guys, I'm being funny, but you have no college degree. You have zero certifications, but you're making $356,000 remote. How is that possible? I thought you needed a college degree and certifications to break into tech, making six figures. So if you don't have that, what do you have?
just a high school diploma and the whole certifications thing, that was probably true maybe like 20 or 30 years ago, but today, something if you pay attention to in the job application, I'm sorry, job descriptions, it'll say college degree or equivalent experience. And then as far as the certifications go, most of the time there's it might be nice to have, but it's not a hard requirement. And then on the few places where it's like a federal job where it is a hard requirement, they'll still hire you, but then they'll say, okay, we're going to give you maybe like a few months deadline and then we'll pay for it too, but we'll have you take the certification. So yeah,
Okay.
most of the time it's really not a hard requirement.
And so I just, I'm on live on Instagram right now. I see somebody that said YouTube University. You know, what would you like? There's no wrong options, but what would you say to somebody who's like, let's just say there's options of doing it for free, YouTube University, or there is another option of joining, let's say this program, or any other program that's just like this. What would you say is the difference and like pros and cons for both?
I would say the pros for, going to YouTube University or Dr. Google is it's going to be free, but then you're paying for it on the back end because when you learn by yourself, it's going to be a lot slower. So you're actually going to end up, making way less money than you were going to even invest into it. And then paying for, a program with a community, you are paying that price up front, but then you get the results a lot faster. So there is a lot of similar information. It's just the fact that you want someone to show you exactly which steps to take. So that way you can go ahead and start making money, in a few months rather than trying it on your own and, taking forever to get to that end goal.
Okay. And so, um, would you say paying for a program, you are sure that you can get the offer letter faster? Are you sure that's true?
Yeah, it worked out for me because you just literally laid out an exact framework and I just kind of followed it and, did what was on the instructions and it worked out really good for me and other students that joined as well. So,
Do you feel like because you actually invested money that it wasn't easy for you to give up because like you had something invested, like as opposed to getting it, for free? Let's just say, because realistically, the stuff is online for free. You have to like figure out where to go. You have to figure out which one is the right information because there's a lot of BS online. But let's just say you have it for free. Do you feel like you would get the result? You're more likely to get the result paying because you actually like gave up something, or do you feel like you would get the results? Like there's a more chance of you getting the results if you got it for free.
I always go with the paid route. Like even in the past, I've done other programs for like different niches that worked out really well. And one thing I always find, yeah, there is some junk courses out there, but when you pay for a good one, um, you're just getting only the good information versus when you have to figure it out on your own, you're having to sort through the junk information to find the good information. So you're just
So
removing the junk when you pay for it.
if you invested a lot of money into something, let's just say you invested something, a lot of money into it, you're probably going to take it more serious, right?
Yeah, because that means you're just putting some skin in the game. So yeah, like in the back of your head, it's like you want to make this work.
Okay. So you guys on Instagram Live, type of 1% in the chat if you feel like if you invested a lot of money, right, into something, you're like, wait a minute, I'm gonna get my money back. So you're more likely to actually follow the steps to get the results as opposed to, YouTube University. There's nothing wrong, by the way, with YouTube University. I just want you to understand that when you do something for free, you're not really invested into it in terms of your time and energy, which is required to put into something consistently to get the result. And so it's crazy and it's backwards, but you're more likely to get what you want by paying somebody. You don't even have to, you know, I always say this all the time, and on YouTube, anybody's watching this video, you do not have to pay me. We don't just accept anybody, even if you wanted to pay us, right? We still have to qualify you. We've rejected people that wasn't a good fit, and we've guided them to a place that will help them, right? With kind of like what they're looking for. But it's just to say, paying somebody will get you there faster, number one. So you start making money faster. And then paying somebody will increase the likelihood of you getting what you're looking for because you're invested. You're not going to easily give up. It's easy to give up if you didn't pay anything. It's just like, oh, like this is annoying. Let me figure something else out. But if you paid someone and you're like, it's kind of annoying, you're not just going to back out because you just invested some money. Okay. And so, what was like, how did you hear about the 1% University? Like, what made you actually pay attention to be like, wait a minute, this is interesting?
So I actually randomly ran into Tayo in person because I was hanging out with some buddies and he happened to be a mutual friend of them. And he was talking about how he's at the time he was working a job, or I think it was multiple, I forgot, but and he was also teaching other people, and that's when I first heard about it.
Okay, okay. And I have some people on Instagram Live. They're asking some questions. So if you want to know the tech stack, if you click the first link in my bio on Instagram, you'll see how to make $500,000 step by step. I go over the tech stack there. And so I want you to tell them, like, what were you thinking when you first saw this program? Like, what questions did you have? Like, what was the answer that just made it click? Like, what questions did you have? Let's start there.
Um, so at first it looked solid, and whenever I saw the testimonials of everybody else having good success, I knew it could work. But the thing is, I didn't know. Since I never like saw myself as like a, like kind of like a nerd doing IT, I was like, if I sign up, am I gonna stick with it? But then I was thinking, well, if these guys are making a lot of money, then I'll stick with it just for the money. I don't have to necessarily be passionate about it. I just need some kind of career I can stick with and something that can give me a good lifestyle. If that's it, then that's a win right there. I don't have to necessarily be the most passionate about it. So,
And so did you actually like it at all? Like in terms of like what, just cloud engineer?
yeah, I do like it. I'm not like crazy in love with it, but I would say it is relatively enjoyable and it really teaches me a lot, about computers, but then also about myself. And I see it in other areas of life
Hmm.
whenever I'm troubleshooting like something outside of computers. My troubleshooting skills, just in general, even off the job, are just getting way better.
Okay. And so, you know, what's some of the things that you've kind of experienced from working as a cloud engineer in terms of like the benefits, like in terms of the money, maybe paid off some debt, maybe, got some new things. So what's some of the things that you've actually gained from learning the skill set, from a monetary perspective?
Yeah, so stable employment because it's a high in demand skill, but then even like I've been laid off, with the excuse of AI in the past. But it's really them wanting to reallocate money. But that's besides the point. I was able to, have that second job to fall back on. So I was never really jobless because I had two jobs at the time. So
Hmm.
even when I got laid off, I was still relatively secure because I still had that one job.
Mm.
And so I'd say first of all, job security, and then the fact that I had a situation where I wanted to replace the job I was in before. I was able to spit out an offer letter within a month, like less than a month.
Wait, wait, wait,
So
wait, wait. Within a month,
yeah, yeah,
did
within a month.
did a recruiter reach out to you?
Yeah, so I had recruiters reaching out to me and then also used the system within the 1% to put out a lot of high quality applications in an automated way.
Wait, 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 wait. So I'm confused. There's people that's saying the job market is hard right now. It's hard to get a job. It's even hard to get a recruiter on the phone. And you're telling me because the information that you learn in the 1% University, the skill set that you were able to obtain, how to brand yourself and how to get recruiters to reach out to you, you were able to get a recruiter to reach out to you for an interview that landed the offer letter.
Yeah, I've actually had that happen, I want to say two times for sure. This third one, it may have been that, or it could have been the automated system. I've gotten hit up by like so many recruiters and stuff, it's hard to keep track. But yeah, it
So
should be about three.
right now, you recently just got an offer letter for $166,000 and a year, and you're already making $190,000 a year, so that's $356,000 a year. And now, how many recruiters, like how many, interviews, how many companies are you talking to right now? And where are you in that stage of interviewing?
Um, so there's about, I want to say two that's I'm in the pipeline still. There was like some other interviews where it just didn't make sense. We weren't a good fit for each other. But right now, like two that are like legitimately going in a good process. So the offer letter I just got, I'm no longer in the pipeline because I just got the offer. And then the other two, I'm going to the third round next week. So it's possible I could have another one to two offer letters coming up here soon.
And so, wow, interesting. So you have two jobs and you have opportunities, a potential other offer letter or multiple offer letters coming. Somebody on Instagram Live is like, wait, you're juggling two jobs. Like, how's that possible? Aren't you working 8 hours a day for cloud?
Yeah, so the thing is, once you get, just even relatively decent at it, you're able to knock out tasks really fast. And then if you're getting good at leveraging AI, you can also use it to automate some of your work. So you're not actually working the full 8 hours for both jobs. So that's how you're able to work multiple jobs.
Mm, mm. Okay, okay. And when you decided to invest in yourself and join the program, how did you feel? Like, I want you to be honest. What was going through your mind?
Um, I knew that it could work. I just wanted to verify it from, someone. So I actually knew a buddy that was in the course, so I gave him a call and he was telling me that it's a really good course. So that's why when I was interested and I was hesitant, I ended up, pulling the trigger and doing it.
Did you feel like when you got stuck, you had someone to help you get unstuck? So it's not like you were just lost and you couldn't reach out to anybody? Like, did you feel like you had support?
Yeah, so whenever I was going through the homework projects, there was quite a few times where I got stuck, and whenever that would happen, I would do a few things. I'd either reach out to one of the teachers directly, or I'd make a post in the community channel, and
Mm,
then the teachers and some of the other students would jump in and say, "Here, try, steps one, two, and three." And they
mm,
also teach you when you're asking a question, make sure you've tried steps one, two, and three, so you really understand what's going on, understand the errors,
mhm.
and then present it to us, and we'll help you get there. And then a lot of times, you guys would kind of teach us how to find the answer rather than always directly telling us. So that way, it builds that troubleshooting skill set which you use on the job.
Cool. And so when you were stuck, you got unstuck, or you knew where to ask to get unstuck, and then you got unstuck, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And do you feel like this was like a step by step to get the skill set? And once you get the skill set, you have two, you know, interviews right now that can potentially lead to an offer letter, and you're working two remote roles at the moment, right? So do you feel like that's a reality because you have the skill set in terms of the two offer letters and the two potential offer letters coming? Is that because of the skill set that you have?
Yeah, that's because of the skill set. Everything I learned is a straight pipeline, just, starting with learning all the basic tech stack. And then at the end of the program, learning the soft skills, how to market yourself on LinkedIn, and then how to get your resume out there. So both technical and soft skills is really just um, all in the package.
Okay. And somebody had mentioned, so you get paid 8 hours even though you don't work 8 hours. So when it comes to contracts and when it comes to getting into working multiple contracts through C to C, um, they pay you based on deliverables. Typically W-2, they're going to pay you hourly, a salary, okay? But when you get into the C to C space, when you get into contracting, working multiple roles, they're paying you to deliver a product. They're paying you to deliver a solution. Cloud migration, right? That is a project that you can learn and you can market yourself to people, and they say, "Hey, we need somebody to do cloud migration." And their budget is for X, Y, and Z. It could be 30,000, it could be 50, it could be 100, it just depends. Okay. And so I want to ask you, like, you joined the program. Walk me through what happened next. Like, what were the first few weeks like for you?
So the first few weeks, I was studying the IT fundamentals, like the basics of networking, what different components are, learning what a VM is, and yeah, that's the the gist of it for the first few weeks. And then also I was on the live boot camp as well, attending the classes.
Yep. And so somebody said, so they don't care about time. They don't care about time it takes, just don't take long. So think about it like this. If you went to the barber, do you care that it takes him 8 hours or do you care that he gets it done? Right? If it takes him 30 minutes as opposed to 2 hours, you're probably going to want him to complete it in 30 minutes, right? And you probably care more that the fact that he did it correctly. And so, companies, they're looking for people with skills. The barber he knows how to cut hair as a skill set. And that's why you pay him money to solve a problem. That's why companies will pay you to solve a problem because you have a skill set. Type of 1% in the chat if that makes sense. And so you came into the program, you know, let's say I know you were talking about 30, $40,000 a year and you were feeling stuck, you know, and now you're at so you went from 30K, let's say 40K to now you're at $356,000, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That's a 10x of wait, but you don't how are you it just doesn't make any sense. You have a high school diploma right now, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's correct.
Do you guys pick up what I'm putting down? Right? This is why I say certifications and all this stuff right there, college degree certifications. It's an option. I fell inside this scam, right? And I was driving Uber Eats afterwards. John is is somebody that I like to broadcast because he's somebody that did not have these things and he is making a lot of money and working remote. Okay. So somebody said, what's the best certifications to get right now? Um, I'll have you answer that question. What certification do you have now that led you to making $356,000 a year?
I don't have any. I haven't had to take any yet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because there's only some roles that require it, but most of the time you're going to be good without it.
And so I'm confused because I do see jobs that say college degree and certifications. How are you able to get multiple opportunities? How are you able to get recruiters reaching out to you for remote six-figure positions if you have a high school diploma and zero certifications? This doesn't make any sense.
It's because I market myself really well on LinkedIn, showing specific high in demand skills, certain things like, working with AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, some of the most in demand skills, just making sure I got really good with those on the homework projects and then, documenting that both on my LinkedIn and then also my resume.
And
And when they see that, they're not really going to care too much, even if it says like certification required. A lot of times that can get overlooked if they see how valuable you are.
how what you are? You said What did you say?
Yes, sir. How valuable?
And so, are these all remote positions you have right now? Somebody asked.
Um, Yeah, so actually one of them's remote that I just got, and then the other one, it's hybrid. I've only been in a few times, but I'm actually getting ready to drop it because of how often they're going to want me to start coming in. But that's why I have two remote roles in the pipeline right now. So yeah, the one I'm at right now, it's been pretty much remote up to this point, but I'm dropping it so that way I can, get that time freedom back, not having to drive so much, being able to job stack without having to worry about, being on site and then not being able to attend to other meetings.
Mm, mm. And but why do you feel so confident? You just dropped another one, and you really feel like you can get another offer letter? Why is that?
Because about a month ago is whenever I found out at some point I'll have to start going on site more. So that's when I said, okay, let me go ahead and get ready so I can have a backup in case. And I was able to get one in like less than 30 days. So, not to mention, I'm in the pipeline for two other interviews. So just the fact that I've done it in the past before makes me confident that I can, spit it out real quick.
I have multiple people asking, like, what projects have you done to get to, this level that you're at? What, yeah, you can just give like really quick high level, like just the name so we can move forward.
Yeah, cloud migration projects. And then a few other projects that are heavy in Kubernetes and Terraform.
Okay, okay.
Those are some of the main ones.
And so what would you say your experience in the 1% university was? Like not as good as what you expected, as good as what you expected, a little bit better than what you expected, or just beyond what you imagined? What would you say? There's no wrong answers.
I would say it's better than what I expected because when I was going in there, I was thinking I kind of want to make sure I make six figures and have some stable employment. And then now I'm seeing that, I'm able to get multiple roles that are six figures. So now I'm able to make multiple six figures, but then also um, able to get a job really quick because even before IT, I was like having a hard time getting non-IT jobs. For some reason, it's just so hard to get people to even respond to you. But now I'm able to get, six-figure roles land into my DMs on LinkedIn. So
Wow, wow. So, um, I want to say, you know, number one, congratulations, because this is something that not a lot of people can achieve. And you took the chance to actually bet on yourself to invest in the program, but you put in the work, right? It does take work. And it doesn't happen overnight. You put in the work, and these are some of the results that you have. And so, one of the things that I want to ask is, what was top three, the top three biggest aha moments or mindset shifts you've had since the beginning of this journey?
um so starting out, I knew I could do it if I just stick with it long enough. But whenever I landed that first offer letter, like that was the biggest shock to me because I was like, oh my gosh, I actually did it. Because I did pretty much most of the program, and then while I was doing the projects, since I was building a lot of momentum, I knew I could finish the projects. I went and put all my stuff out on LinkedIn and got my resume ready. And I was thinking, what, I'll just let that sit out there just in case anyone reaches out to me. I didn't really think much of it. And then I was thinking, I'll just do that while I'm finishing up the projects. But then within a week, I had one recruiter reach out, next week, another one. And I bombed the first two interviews. And then on week three, I had another one reach out. And that one I did really good on the interview and made it all the way up to, it was either round three or four, and ended up getting an offer letter like a week later. So I was actually really surprised. I think that would have been like a total of a month after I put my resume out there for the very first time.
Okay. And so there's three skill sets that I always say online, that I say on YouTube, that I market online. I say you need three skill sets to be at the level that you're at right now. And we teach, number one, AWS cloud engineering, the tech stack, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, SQL, Python, computer networking, right? Prometheus, right? There, like we teach you the tech stack and the projects that's in demand that companies are looking for people to have to solve their problems. That's number one. The second skill set is how to brand yourself, how to get recruiters to reach out to you. The third skill set we teach is how to communicate. How can you communicate the problems that these companies have? And how do you communicate the solution, which is the projects that you've done? How do you clearly articulate the technical value on these interviews to position yourself as one of the top candidates on any job interview? Those are three skills: cloud, how to brand yourself, and how to communicate. Do you feel like you have gained those three skill sets within this program? I'm gonna ask you two questions. Do you feel like you've gained those three skill sets within the program? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And what are the results of having that skill set from your experience?
The results is being able to get a job anytime I need to or choose to, and then also being able to not just make six figures from one job alone, but getting multiple six-figure jobs.
Okay, okay. And so last question, if somebody is watching this right now and they're in the same position you were making, like that you were at, you were making 30, 40K, feeling stuck, maybe nervous about investing in themselves. Like, what would you tell them? What would you tell your past self? Like if you were like kind of nervous and you're stuck and you're on the fence, what would you tell them? What would you tell yourself?
I would say just get started. So first of all, you don't, always wonder what it's like. You don't have to wonder if you go ahead and, get started. And then number two, um, I think I waited 3 months before actually committing and joining. So that'd have been 3 months sooner of being able to make six figures. So um, it's kind of like you're losing out on that money if you just kind of keep waiting and waiting and waiting.
Okay.
The sooner you start, the sooner you start making those six-figure rolls. So.
Okay. And so they're asking does the person you're speaking to have a LinkedIn? So if you go to yes, he has a LinkedIn. I'll mention it afterwards because on this video he wants to be very private. But let me do this. So after this video, I'll talk to you guys and let you guys know the LinkedIn and all that stuff. And so, John, do you mind if somebody was to reach out to you on LinkedIn, do you mind like speaking? Have you? I'm pretty sure people have reached out on LinkedIn to you, LinkedIn before, correct?
Yeah, there's been probably like um, 15 or more like outreaches where they just want to hear about it coming from like a student's perspective.
Okay, okay. And so how does one join the 1% University? So if you click the link in my bio, it goes to my YouTube. There's a video that says how to make $500,000 a year. That's a requirement before actually joining. But once you watch that video and click the first link in that video, in the YouTube video, you will apply. If you do qualify, me and my team will reach out to you and then show you the next steps. And so, John, I want to just say, um, like, congratulations because it still doesn't, honestly, it's crazy because you don't have a college degree, you have a high school diploma, you have zero certifications. You learn the three skills: cloud engineering, how to brand yourself, and how to communicate. And because of that, you're now making $356,000 a year. You got three offer letters. You left one job, but in total, you have gotten three offer letters in total $466,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And then by next week I can give an update, but I could have like two more on the way. So
And so if do you feel like for the rest of your life you'll have the skill set?
absolutely.
Do you feel like for the rest of your life, money will never be an issue for you?
Oh yeah, especially because as I get better, it's only going to go up from here. So
Do you regret investing in this program?
no, it's turning out really good.
And so, what's some of the stuff outside of cloud that, you saw that we actually provide? Just curious.
Um, let's see. What specific? Oh, you're talking about the yeah, the other bonuses, right? Of the
Mhm.
course.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's another section for day trading and just kind of teaching you if after you start making all that cloud money, since you're gonna have a lot of it and you want to put it somewhere, there's a section about day trading to teach you what to do with that cloud money to grow it even more. And then there's gonna be another section about how to invest with other people's money. So taking out credit to kind of build it again. So it's a few different ways to manage your money. So you're not just working for it only, you're also able to, leverage different assets.
Okay. And I want to be clear, anybody watching this, I do teach day trading principles, but I do not recommend the average person to day trade. Day trading, you are most likely going to lose money. Anybody telling you that you'll make money in day trading, they're lying to you. There's a 5 to 10% of people that make money in day trading. It took me 2 years consistently of losing money to do that. But I teach people how to take that money and how to invest long term. Investing long term is a lot easier than day trading. So my students, as a bonus, they do get that. We have the 1% university. There's freshman year, there's sophomore year, there's junior year, there's senior year too as well. Okay, freshman year, how to manage your money. Sophomore year is cloud engineering, how to make more money. Junior year, how to invest that money. In senior year, right, how to use other people's money to make money for you. And then there's taxes too as well, how to not give the IRS a huge tip. Okay. And so if wow, it's a blessing and a risk, 1000%. And so is there what is a one the last question is what is a 1% gem that you would give to anybody listening to this right now?
I would say just take action fast and take risks because that's just honestly the best way to learn, just getting your hands dirty and learning through experience.
But to invest, there's always going to be risk. But what if somebody invests and it doesn't work out for them? Like, what happened?
So yeah, in this type of situation, first of all, you would still learn a lot from it and gain valuable information. And then the second thing is, it is going to work out just as long as you don't give up. Some students get through it relatively quick, and then others, um, they might. I think there's one student that took up to a whole year, but now his life has changed forever because now he's able to make six figures anytime he wants.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's really just as long as you don't give up, even if the road might be longer for you because you take a little bit longer to learn. Well, that time's going to pass anyways, and even if it takes a whole year, hey, you're going to be like that one student that can make six figures anytime.
Wow. So thank you once again for hopping on this call. Anybody watching this video, I'm very clear. Like, you do not have to join my program. I say this in almost every single video. There's other programs, there's YouTube University. We are very selective on who we choose, right? Because we need to know that you are the type of person, number one, that can overcome obstacles and fear. A lot of people, they're very fearful, not only to invest, but to actually, they're humans are naturally afraid to change, right? And so we're looking for somebody that can overcome those fears so we can actually work with them. Okay. We have a whole team that we work with people. It takes time, a lot of money. And so we have to be very mindful on who we select. Okay. Because we need to make sure that we choose the person that we know and we can confidently like get people results. And so that is why we are selective. And this is not for everybody. This is only for somebody who is like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm ready to take action. And I'm willing to put in the work. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not a get rich quick type of thing. It's going to take work. It's going to take time. But if that is you, go ahead and click the first link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.